So this is Barbara Fitch. And if you would like to reverse the consonants in her surname, feel free to do that, because that was the intention. And she is our fifth widow, who we're going to be building a bungalow here for on Hysteria Lane. So we're leaving skinny Selma with her workout routine in the bungalow next door, and she's going to have this giant one in the middle is Barbara Fitch. I'm going to struggle saying that correctly through this video. We're going to come in with the roofs here. I'm going to just say outright that I do not like this woman. I do not like her. She's somewhat of a hate sim. She's a hate creation. She's materialistic. She's snobby. She's vacuous. She's vapid. She's judgmental. She's insensitive. She's all of the things that I just don't like. And I'll probably display that as we go through the video. So she's already got this enormous extension at the front of her bungalow, which she's got with her many riches, which she inherited from her husband, as she is one of the widows. He has passed away, and she herself was a model in a previous life. And by previous life, I mean when she was younger, and then she got fired because, you know, women who age are a disgrace to modelling, aren't they? And they don't get jobs anymore because society is so wonderful. Anyway, she's already got this conservatory we're doing at the back here, which has got fancier windows than every other conservatory on the street, because Barbara cares a lot about what her house looks like, especially from the exterior. She constantly thinks about people walking past her house and what they might think when they see her house. So she's spent a lot of money ensuring that she's keeping on top of all the modern trends and that everything in her house is pristine and clean, and if exposed to judgment will be judged well, because that's very important to her. She does not have much of a personality beyond what her house looks like. And she's already got this bigger front door. Everything is just a lot more fancy than every other bungalow on this street. And I feel like all the other widows don't particularly like her very much, but they include her because they need to live an easy life. And that's the kind of life that Barbara has, where she thinks everyone likes her, but really no one likes her, and she's very lonely. I have very strong opinions about Barbara. So yes, coming in and making her house. She's got two entrances because she's so fancy. She's got two doorways in her bungalow. And she really has taken bungalow to the extreme in the way you probably can't make a bungalow that fancy, and yet she's somehow managed to do it to her greatest extent that she's able to. But making the details here, because at the end of the day, it is still a bungalow, so there's not a whole lot we can do with it other than put some gutters on it and a few wall pieces. So we're coming in doing that here. So all of the walls here are very clean. All the gutters are done. All of the windows are very clean. I feel like she's probably had about 3 window cleaners, because she keeps firing them for not cleaning the windows to, you know, her unreachable extent of how clean she thinks a window should be. If it's not sparkling, it's not been done well, she will fire you and try another one. Coming in with these details of some ledges that she's had put in here, and those are also clean. She gets those wiped. Every ledge must be wiped, because God forbid that the outdoors occur outdoors and some algae or something grow on these window ledges. She's somewhat in a constant state of fighting the natural world, is Barbara. She thinks that everything outside is just filth. It's filth, it's grime, it's disgusting, and it needs to be cleaned, it needs to be bleached. And she will do that, and she will pay someone to do that, because she's far too above doing cleaning work herself. And that's Barbara. And she's even gone so far as to have that extended to her gardens, which you will not find. Well, you're not going to see me place the flowers, because I'm not doing that in these builds, because it takes so long. But you'll see it at the end, and you'll find that she does not have a single naturally occurring flower in any of her gardens. They're all very precisely placed, synthetic looking garden in very much blue colours, the most sort of unnatural plant colour. And she's all about shapes and angles. So she's already got this shapely and angular front garden with layers and platforms. And all of these flower beds they're very meticulously shaped. Not a single plant can overflow out of these flower beds. She will have the gardener prune that back immediately, Otherwise, God forbid, someone might walk by and see that she has a single flower overflowing the intended flower area and judge her immensely for it. So she has a different driveway. She's had this driveway paved in this very nice red stone. And she does have gravel, but all of it is bleached so that she doesn't have any weeds growing through it. So it's going to stay very pristine gravel. And to some extent, Barbara's house, it kind of looks like the typical Sims build, where it's been done to look too perfect to the point where it doesn't really look like a real build anymore. That was kind of the deliberate intention behind Barbara's house. But she does have some of these extra details to make it look like it still belongs on this street that is meant to look like a realistic street, but her actual, all of the owned things within the perimeter of her house are very, very pristine. And we're going to extend that when we enter the interior as well. So she does have a little bit of ivy, but it's all trimmed. It's all trimmed to be very neat. And she's only allowed it in that particular part of the house, just to add a little bit of, you know, decor and to show that she can afford things to go on the walls of her house, so that everyone knows that, because that's very important to her. Now, if it's sounding like this is somewhat of a vent of everything I don't like about certain people, then you're probably correct. That is probably coming out right now. This is also the 5th video I've recorded in a row, so if I sound delirious or slightly exhausted, that's why. And also, if I'm able to keep less of a cap on what I think about people and humanity in general, that's also probably why. So, she still has these outlets that I've put on the side of the other builds along this street for the gas. But here's her garden. As you can see, absolutely nothing belongs here. Nothing is a natural colour. She has these plants forcibly placed in these gravel beds. And this is going to look very opposed to the next build we're going to do in this street. But I thought I would finish off here in the garden with this creation that she's made. Because Barbara did go to Thailand, to the 4 seasons in Thailand for a couple of weeks one time. And now after doing that and seeing this very small and upmarket area of Thailand, she thinks she's very cultured. So she's had this elephant, this Asian elephant sculpted into her hedge. And she thinks she knows all about travelling in Thailand now. So there we go. I thought that was a fun detail to add. Really shows you her character. So we're going to move inside and continue with this pristine nonsense of Barbara's build. It's all going to look very white, very black, very beige, contrasty. She's about shapes, she's about materials, she's about contrast, and she wants everything to just look synthetic as possible. There isn't a single nonsensical societal construct that Barbara has not immediately fallen in love with as the best thing since sliced bread. She does not question anything. She really just accepts what are considered to be the valued things and takes them on board 100% and bases her entire worth on all of these things. And one of them is vanity. So you're going to see as we go through this that she has a mirror in pretty much every single room, because she's always very adamant that she needs her appearance to be 100%. Now, she does not exercise, which is interesting. She does not exercise, but she does have her nails done and a pedicure, and she has her fillers done, and she has her hair done, and all of these things. So she doesn't actually do any of the things that cause physical health. She's just all about what it looks like and how to look like she's healthy by pretending and shoving her face full of fillers. Fake tan, all of the above. She has all of that stuff done. And we're going into her bedroom, and she has this enormous desk, which is for her makeup, and with lights all around it, so she can make sure her makeup is pristine every day. You will not find Barbara without a face full of makeup, to the point where you're like, no one really knows what Barbara looks like, because she's always just got makeup on. And some might say that people who are trying to get to know Barbara as a person are met with a barrier of concealer that makes that quite difficult. I would never say that, because that would be very judgmental. I'm just saying that some people might say that. So all of these built-in cabinets and everything, all of this is brand new. She's constantly getting brand new furniture because she needs to stay on trend. And she has this thing where once she's done every room, she's almost like immediately thinks it's not good enough, and she needs to step up to the next level of prowess in what her house looks like. And so she will just redo all of these rooms over and over again. So we're going to move on to the bathroom here, which is, We've done her ensuite. This is the other bathroom. So she's done this in the same style because she frequently sort of redoes rooms multiple at a time, selecting what is, like the most expensive tile in the tile shop, which is apparently currently this cream one, which I don't think is that great, and I think she was probably scammed a little bit. But she's got all of these fancy marble ledges around her bathroom. It's all very built in. She's got these wall lights for that nice wall glow for when she's trying to bounce light around for the multiple mirrors we're going to put in here. All these fancy mirrors, full angle. She needs to be able to see herself at all times. So she might have that one stray hair that she needs to put back into place. And then this spare bedroom, which it would be a spare bedroom, it's not, because she never has visitors, because no one wants to stay with Barbara. Imagine that. She's turned into somewhat of an homage to herself and her modelling career. So she has this nice sitting area where she can sit and admire all of the fashion accessories that she once wore. And in the living room, we're going to do all the clutter after, so we're going to go through and do all the infrastructure first. So we're moving through to the living room. And the living room is very much going to be the epitome of her interest and love for contrast and striking interior design. So she's in here with the beiges, and everything's very white and pristine and clean, because she likes things clean, and the easiest colour to show when something is clean is white. And it's of course harder to do that. But Barbara doesn't care because she doesn't clean her own house. She has a cleaner who comes in to do it. And I feel like she's probably fired the cleaner quite a few times and got a new one as well. She might even have multiple of them coming on different days. And then she pits them up against each other. And she makes comments like, oh, the other cleaner did this really well the other day. And they're all very passive-aggressive comments that are meant to make each of the cleaners, work harder. Because to some extent, Barbara's a bit of a coward. So she doesn't actually be confrontational. She's just very passive aggressive in everything that she says. So we're going to put her a nice little desk area here. She has an Apple PC because she's got the Apple money. And she just sits there on a computer looking up various style things and keeping in touch with, celebrity gossip and who's big around town and what's going on with all of her stocks and shares. And she's placed it right here in front of the window where she can look outside and see if anyone walks past and has a little glance at her house. Moving on to the dining room here, and this is where we're going to have some very excessive looking marble features. Again, very sterile, very materialistic. I don't feel like Barbara could possibly actually enjoy this house, and I don't think she really wants to do anything with it or use it, because everything Barbara does, she realises could cause some kind of mess, even if it's just a bit of dust. So she often doesn't actually use much of this house. She just sort of sits there on the sofa and views most of it, but doesn't use it. It's all meant to look like a show home. She wants people to permanently believe that her house exists as a show home. So into the kitchen, and she's got this cream kitchen, which is actually quite gross. I don't think I like that kitchen. But Barbara does, because it's very clean and pristine. And all of these cupboards need wiping down by the cleaners every week, obviously. And so the thing too is that Barbara doesn't eat anything that is the slightest bit orange or red or, anything that could potentially stain the worktop. She won't eat it, so she won't have tomato soup. She won't have, any kind of curry, because that could stain the worktop with the turmeric or whatever is in there. She won't eat that. She eats only bland, plain food. Mostly salad, because she's been told that's healthy and that it will make her live longer. And she's all about finding all of these tips and tricks online for how to live longer. So she used to drink apple cider vinegar and have lemon water until that didn't become popular anymore. And now obviously it's turmeric and ginger shots, but she won't have turmeric because it could stain the worktop. So she does drink a lot of ginger shots, and that's about all she does. And she almost gags because it burns her throat, because she's so used to plain salad that doesn't taste of anything. But she has it because she's convinced that it's the thing to do, and so she can tell everyone that she has ginger shots from Starbucks. So she does have a coffee machine, which she doesn't really use because, again, that could drip and stain the worktop with coffee. But it's there so people know that she's cultured and can have, fancy Italian coffees. So we're going to move into the conservatory as the last place here. The conservatory is really where Barbara thinks she's very cultured because she went to Thailand that one time. So in some of the clutter that we're going to put in here, you're going to see that she's got a bunch of Thailand sort of Asian style wall items that we're going to put in. And she thinks she knows all about it, and she's, you know, she's a Buddhist now, is Barbara. She's a Buddhist, and she knows all about living the best life and all of these things, despite the fact that she's so materialistic and cares about all of these superfluous things that don't matter. Is that the correct word? Is superfluous the right word? I don't know. I've just said it because I think I'm really good at words, so that just slipped out. But we're going to do the clutter now. We're going to go through with all of this sterile organisation. She does have some bread. She's allowed that because it's beige and it won't stain the worktop. Everything else is just white. And of course, she has the San Pellegrino sparkling water on the side that she's going to show off to everyone that she's bought. She's got various wines and things in this dining room which she doesn't use because she doesn't have friends over very often. And she's going to really go with this high contrast thing with all these mirrors and a clock that's all very modern, Art Deco looking, and all of these. Those log picture frames are the only nature she's going to have in this house because nature is absolutely horrible and they've all obviously been bleached and sterilised to not grow bacteria on them. More mirrors in the living room, more a sort of more mildly Asian wall thing there, that again, because she's a Buddhist and she knows about a lotus flower and things. Oh, and you know, whatever that head is, she's got that. A tiny little white notebook that she can write all of her vacuous thoughts in. And she's there with her yin and yang rug because she knows all about energy and living a good life. She's got some phones. She's got 2 phones and a thermostat as she comes in because she needs all that air control for complete control over her environment and to let everyone know that she has air conditioning when they come inside. And she has all of her various skin creams and lotions, and she doesn't know any skincare. She really doesn't know what any of it does. She just buys the ones that are like anti-wrinkle, anti-aging. She doesn't look at what's inside them. She just buys them. And then in her little modelling room, she's got all of her decoration kits with her swatches of fabric and things ready for her next big redesign, and all of these high contrast pieces of artwork, some old posters of things she did in her modelling career. And really all of the art is just like abstract nonsense that doesn't mean anything because she doesn't have much of a personality. But that's, you know, that's what she wants. A few hat boxes, etc., some white towels, and we're going to come in with this high contrast rug here, which she doesn't like walking on because she's scared she's going to flatten it and need to buy a new one. So she gets the cleaner to get down on the hands and knees and really get into that with the vacuum attachment. What else? What else can I drag this woman for? I'm going to do a bit of the garden here. She's got the very pristine garden area where she can sit with her elephant, and if she ever has rarely someone over, she sits them next to the elephant and tells them all about her visit to the 4 Seasons in Thailand and how she touched an elephant for 5 minutes and how she really connected with it on a spiritual level is what she tells them, and how it really made her appreciate life. And then they walk through her house and see that she's so materialistic and obviously learn nothing from the experience, but she thinks she learned a lot. And there we go. I'm done dragging this woman who I don't like. Here's the bathroom and the bedroom where she sits and does all her makeup with a giant mirror so she can check herself 10 times before she goes outside. Again, here with the... How many mirrors are in this hallway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 mirror so she can get ready to go out and make sure she's absolutely pristine and perfect. This bathroom, every room really sort of looks the same here, doesn't it? It's all just pristine and cold. And I wouldn't want to live here. And I wouldn't want to visit here. And if I ever play with these old widows, I don't think any of them are actually going to be friends with Barbara. They will include her because they're all nice though. And here she is in her favourite room, sat there with her feet in a very precise position because she doesn't want to mess up that carpet. And now she's watching some reality TV show, Real Housewives of Hysteria Lane or something. And this room, which is just full of culture. It's just full of culture. She even has a peacock. There we go. That's how you know. And I'll show you the exterior where I placed all of these flowers. But this is it for Barbara. Can't wait to move on because I don't like her. Thank you so much for watching. Be kind to yourselves. Don't be materialistic. And I'll see you in the next one.